Hi, it's vegan personal trainer and nutritionist Paul from Hench Herbivore with another muscle growth Q&A. Big Bazinio asks, what's the best bang for your buck protein source as a vegan? For my money, it's got to be Vital Wheat Gluten, from which we make seitan. For just 100 grams dry weight, there's an unbelievable 75 grams of muscle building protein. You can get a half kilo bag for like £1.99. That is 375.8 grams of protein. Mix it with water, add other ingredients if you want, but basically you're making a kind of meat replacement with it. It's wheat gluten, it's the protein from wheat. So if you're celiac, don't try it. The one other downside is it is low on the essential amino acid lysine, but of course we should be eating a range of plant foods throughout the day. You should be getting lysine from other sources. You don't need to eat it in the same meal, you just need to have eaten it recently. It'll be in pools of free amino acids inside your body and you're good to go. Ross Cabrera asks, what are the best ways to prevent overnight catabolism, so the breaking down of muscle tissue, apart from drinking a protein and carb drink before bed? Thanks. So number one, I don't recommend taking in calories close to bed. It will mess with your sleep. Just during sleep that actually we rebuild the muscles. We keep pools of free amino acids. We have stores of glycogen in the muscles and liver. And of course, most of us have some degree of adipose tissue. Unless you're on a ridiculously low amount of calories and losing more than about 1% of your total body weight each week, it's really a non-issue. Lucas Shino rather brazenly asks, do the products that you promote really work, or is it just because they are your sponsors? How very dare you! Now, of course, you're right to be skeptical, you're right to ask questions, and good on you. Me, personally, I couldn't put my name to a product that I didn't fully believe in. It's just not in my nature to dupe people like that. I wouldn't like it done to me. I try to treat others how I'd like to be treated, which is a lot of the reason that I'm vegan. Not only that, but it would be a horrible business model. You might dupe a load of people all in one go and make some fast bucks, but you'll get no return custom, your name will be muddied, and no one will trust a single word you say. So on those grounds alone, like, I wouldn't want to do that to someone. Currently, I'm affiliated with two main companies. One of them, Viva Life, does vegan sports performance products. They do vitamins and they do superfood powders as well. For my money, they're the absolute best on the market. They third-party test for over 500 different contaminants. It's all organic ingredients. They're really into sustainability, fair pay. Just across the board, they are just super lovely, amazing, conscious, ethical people. And the products work really, really well. Also work with Honest Hemp with their CBD products, which are amazing. They've got all the certifications, like it's a great product. Again, great company. I do warn against a couple of the products. I mean, there is the oils, the tinctures, they come in hemp oil or MCT oil. Now, MCT oil does raise your risk for heart disease just slightly. It's not half as bad as the long and very long chain fats you find in animal products, but it does to a small degree. I mean, it's such a minuscule amount, it probably is irrelevant, but personally, I pick the hemp oil base just to be like super, super safe. They also do gummies, which have fructose and coconut oil. Like, these are not good for health, so I don't recommend you get the gummies. And they also do vapes. I'm no expert on vaping, but I understand that the hot steam in the lungs is not ideal for health. So personally, I don't pick those. Of course, you do what you want with your body. But yeah, I use all their other products, their topicals, their tinctures. I've got one here right now, and I find it's amazing. It helps me with anxiety, like public speaking and stuff like that. It helps me to relax, get a good night's sleep. It mitigates my pain from exercise in terms of recovery. So again, like, hand on heart, best product I've ever used in that class. Migraine Zero Food asks, how often do you need to work out? I do weights twice a week, run twice a week, and yoga twice a week. Weights are 12 and 16 kilos in total at present. For my money, you're already training in quite a balanced way. You're doing resistance training twice a week, hard cardio twice a week, and yoga, which is a bit of kind of, is it stamina, flexibility, if you believe in such things, a bit of spiritual mumbo jumbo. I joke, I'm into quite spiritual things myself, but it's kind of more all round is what I'm trying to say. Lots of benefits to be had. However, reading between the lines, I don't think that's what you're asking me. You mentioned weights that you're using, and of course this is a muscle growth Q&A, so I think you're asking me how many times training muscles specifically, trying to grow, is optimal. Depending on the intensity, the type of program you're running, I think 3 to 6 days is optimal. Probably more like 4 or 5 is probably optimal for the masses. But, provided you're running a whole body program twice a week, I think that's plenty good enough. And if you don't really want to specialize in muscle growth kind of physique and you want to be more well-rounded, and say you're doing 2 amazingly hard like cardio sessions, I think you're doing adequate already. The point is to progressively overload, so to try to lift a bit more this week than you did last week. If you'd like to optimize your health, body shape, or performance with a vegan diet, then please check out my new online nutrition course. I've launched it at a low introductory price. It contains 14 videos, 3 cookbooks, and masses of downloadable and printable PDFs, including a complete nutrition chart for all ages and stages of life, so you can be sure that the whole family is thriving. Ken Ebercher asks, here's one, Paul, when you're an ectomorph with ab fat like me, best tricks to lose the ab fat? So first of all, just to say that personally, I don't subscribe to this somatotype theory. It really is just bro science. The idea that you're born an ectomorph, mesomorph, or endomorph, and you're kind of stuck with that, and then therefore you have to train and eat in different ways. I think it's basically a product of our hormones and stuff like that, which we can mediate through like good nutrition. That said, it's brilliant information that you gave me. You're basically telling me that you've got like a perhaps taller, kind of skinny type physique. So, I mean, as for anyone, you either stay in a caloric deficit long enough that you lose fat all over. Of course, it takes longer to lose from the gut because more is stored there. So it's keeping the diet going for long enough. Or if you think you could stand to grow a little muscle, you could target muscle growth for a while. And then that way, like the more muscle you carry, the more calories you burn evenly. So you'll have an easier job to lose those last few pounds. If you've not been training all that long, you may be able to get away with eating at maintenance calories, going on to a gaining program, so you're trying to lift progressively heavier every week. And in that way, you should build some muscle and burn a little fat off at the same time. However, if you're a seasoned lifter, it's kind of diminishing returns on this recomp style plan at maintenance calories. And at some point it stops working. You either need to go into a caloric surplus to grow or a deficit to lose, and you kind of have to try to maintain the other. So in this instance, you could just go slightly up in calories, so hopefully you're not putting any slop on, but slowly growing some muscle. And once you've gained a few pounds and you think you're looking like about as swole as you want to look, and then switch back to fat loss, you can lose fat on a high amount of calories at that point, and you may find that that's much more effective for you. Beep Boop asks favorite exercises, which I answered in the last of these videos, so go back to see that. I won't repeat it here. But what weight do you pull on compounds? Deadlift, squat, bench, and overhead press? Well, the simple answer is for most of those, I don't really know. I don't do them. They're obviously powerlifting moves. Well, the overhead press isn't, but they're kind of strength power orientated, whereas I'm more of a bodybuilder, more of a physique athlete, and so I don't include most of those in my routine. Deadlift I don't do, overhead press I don't do. I do like seated dumbbell shoulder press, where I've gone up to 45 kilo dumbbells on that. The nearest thing I do would be a seated Smith machine barbell overhead press, about 85 kilos there. Bench I've gone up to 140 kilos for 12 before, bodybuilding style, not powerlifting, so a lot more difficult. Currently I'm on about 120 on there. Squat I prefer to use a machine so I can have my feet close together, work more on the quad sweep and support my back better. I find that my back gets a good workout when I do heavy squats, and that's not really ideal. I remember Arnie saying that he had actually the same problem. Just like Arnold if you think about it. Rob Walter asks, bro splits versus compound movements. So this question is a little jumbled. Bro split speaks to the way that you're programming your training week in terms of what body parts are you training together or not, whereas compound movements speak to the types of lifts you're using, compound being the multi-joint, multi-muscle movements versus isolation movements, which are single joint, kind of single muscle focused. I think what you're likely asking is, are bro splits better, or are, say, push-pull leg splits or upper body, lower body splits better? If I'm wrong and you're referring to isos versus compound, then I'll refer you to the last of these videos, which is 2 videos ago. I answered that in there, so just click on that. The science would have you believe that you're better off doing push-pull legs, upper body, versus, you know, Monday chest and buys, Tuesday shoulders, Wednesday quads and hams, Thursday tricep, whatever, the bro split. Science would have you believe that. For the masses, I believe that that likely is true. However, for me, I get on far better with a bro split. And I noticed that most top bodybuilders are also doing bro splits. So I don't really know what to tell you. I think the best thing is suck it and see. We're all individual and find out what works best for you. Paul Eisenhut asks, exactly how does bulking and cutting work? It's very simple. In order to grow muscle, it helps to be in a slight caloric surplus. So you're taking in more calories than you're burning. You want about 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight as well. And in that way, you should be able to get your training program each week, try to put a little weight on the bar. You should go up in weight, you should grow some muscles. So that would be bulking. You can kind of do a dirty bulk where you add in massive too many calories and get really fat at the same time. I don't think that has any benefit over like a lean gaining cycle. I wouldn't call that a bulk necessarily, although technically it is. I'd call it a lean gaining cycle. So you're kind of main gaining, as Greg Doucette says. You're in a slight caloric surplus. Hopefully you're not in enough that you put fat on as well. If you do put some fat on over time, then it's time to get on a cutting cycle. So you're taking in less calories than you're burning. You then want to go up to 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day. And you simply try to hold on to as much muscle and strength as you can as you slowly come down in weight. If you aim to lose no more than 1% of your total body weight each week, you should pretty much hold on to your lean muscle mass. You'll have a bit of temporary loss, like you'll feel like you've lost strength because your muscle's not volumized with water and glycogen. But once you come to the end of your cutting cycle, you'll add in the calories, you'll soak more water into your muscles, you'll volumize them, mechanically you'll be stronger, and you'll find that you shouldn't have lost too much strength really. It shouldn't take too long to get back to where you were before the cut. If you add it too hard, drop weight too quickly, you're gonna burn muscle off as well, and you're gonna end up as weak as a kitten. If any of you guys are really keen to get results and take your training to the next level, I am taking on applications for some new clients that I'm going to be coaching in the near future. I'm only going to be working with a maximum of 5 to 6. It's going to be really hands-on. We're going to do a really bespoke plan, perfect for your individual needs in terms of training, in terms of nutrition. There'll be weekly Zoom calls. We're really going to keep close tabs on you, monitor progress, optimize things so you can get the best results possible. We're going to be very picky with who we choose to take on, and maybe, you know, we're not the right fit for you. For this reason, we've got a questionnaire down below. You can fill it in if you're interested. We'll get back to you. If you look like a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you, we'll get back to you, and then we'll book a call to chat it out and see if we're going to work together. So check that out if you want, link below. Until next time, click this.